Hi, this is attorney Ted Gudorf. Welcome to the Family Estate and Legacy Program podcast. This session is intended to be watched prior to your attending the Asset Alignment Workshop here at our office in Clayton. Just remember that this is step 6 of the 7-step process. Oftentimes, I tell my clients that step 6 is really the critical key to having an effective estate plan. It's our goal by watching this podcast that you're going to be able to be prepared for our workshop. Now remember, the first 6 steps that you've accomplished have gotten you to this point, but remember, until we finish aligning your assets with your estate plan, your plan will not be complete. So I want you to be prepared for the meeting. Now remember, at your signing meeting or your delivery meeting that you attended, you should have signed all of your real estate deeds to transfer them either to a trust or a limited liability company. Hopefully by now, a copy of those deeds has worked its way back to you or will soon after the Asset Alignment Workshop. Now at that signing meeting, we gave you a workbook. It's called the Asset Alignment Workbook. Prior to attending the meeting at our office, we want you to pull out the workbook and thumb through it. Get a general idea of the examples or the sample forms that we've included in the workbook, because in essence, we're going to go through that workbook at the Asset Alignment Workshop. And if you have some familiarity with the documents that are there, I think you'll come away from the workshop better situated, better informed. So when we begin the Asset Alignment Workshop, we're going to take you through how to fund or align every single asset that you own. We're going to start off with some of the more basic things, some of the simpler things. For instance, we're going to teach you how to transfer your vehicles and put them in the trust. Now there's a common notion out here, you may even hear it from the folks over at the Clerk of Court's title office, where they're going to try to persuade you that your vehicles do not need to be put into the trust. That is not our belief. We believe that all vehicles need to be funded. And if you have multiple trusts or multiple limited liability companies, we're going to address that issue. But suffice it to say, we believe all vehicles need to be funded. And just remember, vehicles under Ohio law have a broad definition. We're talking about everything that is titled. So we're going to want you to make sure that you've properly identified everything. It might be your car, it might be your motorcycle, it might be your pickup truck, it might be something as a road-ready golf cart, or even a jet ski. Those are all needing to be retitled. So we're going to want to go through that and teach you how to do that and to confirm that that gets done. Obviously, you can only do that for vehicles that you own outright. If you lease or still have a loan on the vehicle, you will not be able to fund them into the trust until they're paid off. Well, once we move beyond your vehicles, we're going to want to talk about your bank accounts. And just remember, bank accounts can be wide and varied. It could be a checking account, a savings account, a money market account. It might even be a certificate of depreciation. A certificate of deposit. We're going to want to make sure all of those get retitled. And then we're going to advise you on what to bring to the bank or the credit union in order to get those retitled. If you happen to deal with a bank that doesn't have a brick and mortar structure, then we will provide you with copies of some forms so that you can accomplish the retitling of the bank assets by mail. But once we review how to retitle the bank accounts, we're also then going to talk to you a little bit about how to handle your brokerage accounts. You may have multiple brokerage accounts. We break them into two categories. The first category we're going to talk a little bit about are your non-IRA brokerage accounts. Now, those may be mutual fund accounts. They may be, again, money market accounts. They may be individual stocks, maybe individual bonds. We're going to go through each and every one of them and show you exactly the process that it takes to move them into a trust or limited liability company. One of the more important items our clients own happen to be life insurance. Life insurance can be company owned. In other words, it could be a group policy, but it can also be individually owned. If you have a taxable estate, then we'll talk about how we want to title it in that case. But for the vast majority of us who do not have a taxable estate, we're just going to want to make sure that we properly fund both the ownership and the beneficiary utilizing the life insurance company forms. Similarly situated, we're going to cover annuities with you as well. One of the bigger topics of the evening, and it's usually the one we'll end on, is we'll spend considerable time talking about your retirement funds, whether that be a traditional IRA, a SEP IRA, a simple IRA, might also be an inherited IRA or a Roth IRA. A significant amount of time will be devoted to making sure that we understand who should be the beneficiary, who should be the primary beneficiary, and who should be the secondary beneficiary. We're going to want to go through that in detail. Now, at the end of our workshop, we're going to talk to you a little bit about whether you feel confident that you can move forward with getting all of the funding done. The funding process should take no more than 90 days. It can be accomplished in that period of time once we educate you on the specific steps that you need to take. Now, having said that, a handful of our clients will simply prefer that our firm handle the funding process for you. And if you want us to do that, we will quote you a flat fee to get that accomplished. And that's going to depend upon the complexity of the funding that you're asking us to do. Well, I hope that you found that this podcast has been helpful, that it'll provide you with some clarity and some confidence with respect to making sure that you attend the Asset Alignment Workshop. It is the key to an effective estate plan. Please make sure that you make an Asset Alignment Workshop meeting a high priority, because your estate plan will not work unless it is properly funded. Well, have a great day. I look forward to seeing you at the workshop. Thank you so much.